Good evening, 34th Street Master Tower. This is the 1900 Bravo from Bedford
Good evening, 1900 Bravo. Radio checks loud and clear.
RCC, this is 9800 Bravo from Bedford Brighton.
1900 Bravo, you may depart Bedford Park Boulevard. Your next callback will be Tremont Avenue.
Manhattan 51906 Delta PHX.
6 Delta PHX loud and clear.
Dispatch, permission to pull into Norwood.
1906 Delta, you can depart the layout. Let me know when you have doors open at 206.
Copy that. Doors open, Norwood.
1906 Delta, that's a conference. Doors open at door 205. You still have 4 minutes before you can depart. I'll let you know when you can begin service.
Copy that.
This is King.
transfer here for the D train, Manhattan bound B, next stop 182nd, 183rd Streets. Clear the closing doors. This is 182nd, 183rd. This is a Manhattan bound B train. The next stop is Tremont Avenue.
Air 1906 Delta, may depart north 205th. Your next callback is your next stop, Bedford Park Boulevard.
Copy for Bedford.
This is Tremont Avenue.
Tremont
You
Avenue,
may transfer
Bedford
here for
Local
the
Line.
D train. This is a Manhattan bound
Alexander
B.
Bravo,
Next stop
Tremont, that is a
182nd.
copy. Your next callback is 161st Street.
You said 161, correct?
Correct, 1900 Bravo, 161.
This is 174, 175th Manhattan.
Bedford Park
Next
Boulevard.
stop 170th Street. Stand clear of the closing.
1906 Delta, Bedford Park Boulevard, that is a copy. You may push for local line for your next callback, Tremont Avenue.
Copy for Tremont.
This is a Manhattan-bound B train. The next stop is 167th Street.
$19.10 Bravo, you ready to depart Bedford Park Boulevard?
Yeah.
That's copy 1910 Bravo, you ready to depart Bedford Park Boulevard. Your next callback will be Tremont Avenue.
Copy.
This is 167th Street. This is a Manhattan-bound B train. The next stop is 161st Street, Yankee Stadium. This is 161st Street, Yankee Stadium. You may transfer here for the
900
4
Bravo,
train
that's copy
stairs.
161st. Your next callback will be 145.
The next stop is 155th Street. Stand clear of the closing doors.
Tremont.
806 Delta Tremont, that is a copy. Push for the local lineup. Your next callback is 161st.
Copy that.
$19.16 Delta, if you've not yet already done so, you can depart the layup at 205. Let me know you have doors open at 205.
125th Street, 8th Avenue. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 145th Street.
Trade. 1906 Delta to dispatch. You said 161 correct?
1906 Delta, correct, 161st Street.
Ladies
Copy
and
that.
gentlemen, this B
Fremont Avenue.
Tremont, that is a copy. Push for the local line if your next callback will be 170th Street.
Copy for 170.
This is 145th Street. You may transfer for the D train across the platform.
Under Bravo, that's a copy for 145. You may close down your next callback is Cathedral Parkway, 110.
35th Street. Stop for the closing doors.
$1916 Delta, you ready to go to 205th?
D train, ready to depart 205th Street.
16 Delta, that is a copy. You may close down your next callback to your next stop, Bedford Park Boulevard.
Copy.
This is 135th Street. You may transfer on this platform for the C train. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 125th Street.
Hundred 70th Street.
Bravo 170, that is a copy. Your next callback, 161st.
Copy.
Bedford Park Boulevard.
16 Delta, Bedford Park Boulevard, that is a copy. You may close down. Your next callback will be Fordham Road.
Copy.
This is 125th Street. You may transfer here for the A and D across the platform. C train on this track.
Yankee Stadium.
60 bus upstairs.
F6 Delta 161st, that is a copy push for the local lineup. Your next callback is 145.
This is a Brooklyn bound.
Copy that.
Bravo at Bedford.
1920 Bravo at Bedford Park Boulevard, that is a copy you're going to have to hold there. There's a Delta crossing in front of you to the local track.
Brooklyn bound B, next stop is Cathedral Parkway, 110th Street. Stand clear of the closing doors.
$161.
1910 Bravo 161st, that is a copy push for the local lineup. Your next callback is 145.
Copy for 145 on.
This is Cathedral
1900 Bravo
10th
Cathedral
Street,
Parkway, that is a copy. You may close down. Your next callback will be 86th Street. 1920 Bravo, you may depart Bedford Park Boulevard. Your next callback, Fordham Road.
Copy.
Auto mode.
16 Delta Fordham, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Tremont Avenue.
Copy.
You only 145th Street.
1906 Delta 145, that is a copy push for the express line for your next callback, 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Copy that.
This is 103rd Street. This is a Brooklyn bound B train. The next stop is 96th Street. Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 86th Street.
Tremont Avenue.
16 Delta Tremont, that is a cog push for local line of your next callback, 161st Street.
Copy.
145.
10 Bravo 145, that is a cog push for the local line of your next callback is 103rd.
Copy for 103rd.
1926 Nancy, you may depart Astoria Didmars, your next callback will be Queensboro Plaza. 20 Bravo Fordham Road, that is a copy. Your next callback is Tremont
This
Avenue.
is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 81st Street. The
10 Bravo 86, that is a copy. Your next callback is United Street Columbus Circle.
Museum of Natural History is next. Please stand clear of the closing doors.
.26 Nancy, is that a copy for Queensboro Plaza?
This is 81st Street, the Museum of Natural History. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 72nd Street. Please stand clear of the closing doors. This is 72nd Street. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next stop is 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Fremont Ave. Only Bravo Red to Tremont.
20 Bravo Tremont Avenue, that is a cop push for local line of your next callback, 161st.
Copy.
next stop.
Under Bravo, Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Push for 6th Avenue, line up your next call back. 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Fifty-ninth, 1906 Delta.
Zero 6 Delta, Columbus Circle, that is a copy. You're going to have to hold as a Triton crossing in front of you at Columbus Circle.
Copy.
Delta 161st, that is a copy. Push for the local line. This callback is 145.
161st to Yankee Stadium. Copy.
One a third.
Washington Bravo 103rd, that is a copy. Your next callback, 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Copy.
1935 Quebec 96 is still a radio check.
This is 47.
35 Quincy radio check is loud and clear.
Transfer here for the
Copy.
F&M trains across the platform. This is a Brooklyn-bound B Express train. The next stop is 42nd Street, Bryant Park. Please stand clear of the closing.
Alright, 1906 Delta holding a Columbus Circle. Push for 6th Avenue. Line up your next call back is Rockefeller Center.
Up to top of the rock.
$1936 Nancy from Astoria, Ditmars to Coney Island. Can I get a radio check?
36 Nancy radio check is loud and clear.
This is 42nd Street, Bryant Park. You may transfer for the 7 train upstairs via the passageway.
1900 Bravo, Bryant Park. That is a copy. Next call back West 4th.
The next stop is 34th Street, Herald Square.
1935 Quincy is ready to depart 96.
Give me a second. 1935 Quincy may depart 96. Your next call back Lexington 63rd.
Copy.
1926 Nancy, Queensboro Plaza. You may clear out. Your next callback is your next stop, Lex 59. If you're trying to respond, I cannot hear you. Like, you did not. There was no feed whatsoever.
261st.
1920 Bravo, 161st, that is accomplished for the local lineup. Your next callback is 145.
45 go.
1936 Nancy requesting lineup out of Astoria Ditmars.
36 Nancy may depart Astoria Ditmars. Your next callback will be Queensboro Plaza.
With the F and
10-4.
M trains making local stops across the platform, and the NQ and R trains upstairs. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train making express stops. Next stop is West 4th Street. Stand clear.
145th Street.
9016 Delta 145, that is a copy push for the express line. If your next callback to the 9th Street Columbus Circle.
Copy.
Top of the rock.
Rockefeller Center for the 1906 Delta, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 34th Street Herald Square.
Copy.
Mic check.
1926 Nancy, mic check is loud and clear now.
Copy that.
ACE upstairs. This is
West 4 for the 1900 Bravo, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Grand Street.
Lex 59 for the 26 Nancy.
26 Nancy, Lex 59, that is a copy. You may close down. Your next callback will be Times Square 42nd.
Copy.
Herald Square.
6 Delta 34th Street Herald Square, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Grand Street.
Rolling 45.
After the 1920 Bravo, that is a copy. Push for the local line. If your next callback is 1/3.
Copy.
Lexington 63rd for the 35.
This is there from 935 Quincy, that is a copy. Your next callback, Times Square 42nd.
And 4.
$5-9 Columbus.
1310 Bravo, 59th Street Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Push for 6th Avenue line. If your next callback, 42nd Street Bryant Park.
Copy.
.26 Nancy to dispatch.
Go ahead, 26 Nancy.
Do you want me to hold at Midtown for a connection or no?
No, you can proceed to Times Square.
Copy that.
For Bravo.
Transfer for the D train on this track. This is a Brooklyn-bound B train. The next
Agenda
stop is D.
Bravo Grand Street, that is a cop. The next callback will be decom interlocking.
.35 Quincy at Times Square, 42nd Street.
5 Quincy at Times Square, that is a cop pushing the express line up and hold for connection with 26 Nancy.
10-4.
26 Nancy, also Times Square.
That is a copy. Connection established. 35 Quincy, 26 Nancy. 35 Quincy, you can proceed. Your next callback is 14th Street, Union Square. 26 Nancy, you are holding at Times Square.
10-4.
Calling back at 42nd Street, Brighton Park.
1910 Bravo, 42nd Street, Brighton Park. That is a copy. Push for the express line. Your next callback, West 4th.
Copy.
.1936 Nancy, calling back at Queensboro Plaza.
Queensboro, that is a copy. May close down. Your next callback is your next stop, Lex 59.
Copy.
.35 Quincy at 34th Herald.
35 Quincy Herald Square. Your callback is Union Square.
Oh, my bad.
It's the 26 Nancy still holding the Times Square.
That's affirmed. 26 Nancy, you're still holding at Times Square. I'll let you know when you can proceed.
Main Street, 1906 Delta.
1906 Delta, Grand Street, that is a copy. Push for the Delta line. Your next callback will be decalled interlocking.
Copy.
16 Delta at 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
16 Delta Columbus Circle, that is a copy push for 6th Avenue line of connects callback, 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Copy.
26 Nancy, you can proceed out of Times Square, your next callback, 14th Street, Union Square.
Copy that.
I'm gonna do another 103.
20 Bravo, 103rd, that is a copy, your next callback, 59th Street, Columbus Circle.
Copy.
35 Quincy Union Square.
Quincy, 14th Street, Union Square, that is a copy, your next callback is your next stop, Canal Street, level up.
10-4.
Nancy, calling back at 59th Street.
Alright, 1900 Bravo, decob interlocking, you can proceed your next callback, decob Avenue. 1936 Nancy, Lec 59, you can close down your next callback, Times Square, 42nd.
10-4.
West 4th, Washington Square.
4th, that is a copy, your next callback is Grand Street.
Copy.
This is DeKalb Avenue. You may transfer to the Q train on this track and R train across
1900
the
Bravo, decob Avenue, that is a
This
copy,
is
your
a
next
B
callback
train
will be
bound for
Prospect
Brighton.
Park.
The next stop is Atlantic Avenue, Barclay Center, Pacific Street.
Union Square for the 26 Nancy.
26 Nancy at Union Square, that is a copy, your next callback is Canal Street, lower level.
Copy that for Canal.
Decob interlocking 1906.
1906 Delta decob interlocking, that is a copy, you can proceed, your next callback will be Atlantic Avenue, Pacific Street.
Copy that.
Canal lower level for the 35 Quincy.
1935 Quincy Canal, lower level, that is a copy, push for the Quincy lineup, your next callback is decob interlocking.
10-4.
16 Delta at 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
16 Delta Bryant Park, that is a copy, push for the express lineup, your next callback is West 4th.
Atlantic Avenue, Barclays Center. You may transfer upstairs for the 2345 DNQR and connection is available to the Long Island Railroad. This is a B train bound for Brighton Beach. The next stop is 7th Avenue. Please stand clear of the closing doors.
On back a grand.
1910 Bravo Grand Street, that is a copy. Push for the Bravo lineup. Your next callback is decal interlocking.
Copy.
26 Nancy Canal, pushing for Nancy lineup.
26 Nancy at Canal Street, that is a copy. I'm going to hold you there to give the Quincy in front of you some room, so I'm not holding you the way across the bridge.
Copy that.
That's 6th Street.
06 Delta Atlantic Pacific, that is a copy. Your next callback to your next stop, 36th Street.
Copy that.
Twenty Bravo 59.
This is 7th Avenue.
20 Bravo Columbus Circle, that is a copy. Push for 6th Avenue lineup. Your next callback, 42nd Street, Bryant Park.
Stand clear of the closing doors.
Copy.
1936 Nancy calling back at Times Square 42nd, punching for the Express.
36 Nancy Times Square, that is a copy. Your next callback, Canal Street, lower level.
10-4.
1926 Nancy, you may clear out of Canal Street. Your next callback is decal interlocking.
Copy for interlocking.
Decal interlocking for the 35 Quincy.
35 Quincy decal interlocking, that is a copy. You may proceed. Your next callback is decal Avenue.
16 Delta at West 4th Street.
Delta West 4th, that is a copy. Your next callback is Grand Street.
Copy.
Prospect Park. You may transfer for the Q train on this track, making local stops, and the Franklin Avenue
100 Bravo
upstairs
Prospect
on
Park,
the
that is a copy. Your next callback
This is
will
a
be
Brighton Beach
Kings
bound
Highway.
B train, which will be making express stops. The next stop is Church Avenue. Next stop is Church Avenue. Please stand clear of the closing doors.
10 Bravo is at decal interlocking.
10 Bravo Dekalb interlocking, that is a copy. Please hold. There's a Quincy heading to Dekalb Avenue in front of you.
Copy.
26 Nancy decom interlocking.
26 Nancy Dekalb interlocking, that is a copy. You may proceed. Your next callback is Atlantic Pacific.
Copy that.
35 Quincy DeKalb Avenue.
35 Quincy Dekalb, that is a copy. Push for Brighton line up. Your next callback will be Prospect Park.
Copy.
Alright, 1910 Bravo, you may proceed out of the interlocking. Your next callback is Dekalb Avenue.
Copy.
Street.
6 Delta 36, that is a copy. Push for West End line up. Your next callback is your next stop, 9th Avenue.
Copy that.
20 Bravo 42nd.
20 Bravo, 42nd Street, Bryant Park, that is a copy. Push for the express line up. Your next callback is West 4th.
Copy.
This is Church Avenue. Transfer for the Q train across the platform. This is a Brighton Beach bound B train. The next stop is Newkirk Plaza. Stay clear of the closing doors.
Delta at Grand Street.
16 Delta Grand Street, that is a copy. Push for the Delta line up. Your next callback is Dekalb interlocking.
Copy.
I'm going to decal Avenue.
1910 Bravo, Dekalb Avenue, that is a copy. I'm holding you there because the train from you get to reach Atlantic.
Copy.
26 Nancy
26 Nancy Atlantic Pacific, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 59th Street.
Copy. Was that 5-9?
Correct. 26 Nancy, 59th Street, 4th Avenue.
Copy that.
$1936 Nancy, calling back at Canal Street lower level, punching for the Nancy lineup.
26 Nancy at the copy for Canal lower level. Your next callback is Dekalb interlocking.
10-4.
1910 Bravo, you may proceed out of Dekalb Avenue. Push your Brighton line up. Your next callback is 7th Avenue.
Copy.
This is Newkirk Plaza. You may transfer for the Q train across the platform, making local stops. This is a B train bound for Brighton Beach. The next stop is Kings Highway. Stand clear to closing doors.
Ninth Avenue.
9th 1906 Delta 9th Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 62nd Street.
Copy.
20 Bravo West 4th.
Bravo West 4th Street, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Grand Street.
Copy.
Prospect Park for the 1935.
35 Quincy Prospect Park, that is a copy. Push for Brighton local. Your next callback will be Church Avenue.
And 4.
Delta at the Cobb Avenue interlocking.
Delta decob interlocking, that is a copy. You may proceed. Your next callback is Atlantic Avenue, Pacific Street.
Copy.
This is
Kings Highway, Quincy Park Express
You may
line.
transfer for the Q train across the platform.
900 Bravo Kings Highway, that is a copy. Your next callback will be your last stop, Brighton Beach.
Sheep's Head Bay.
7th Avenue, Brooklyn.
1910 Bravo 7th Avenue, that is a copy. You may proceed to your next stop, Prospect Park.
Copy.
Nineteen 1936 Nancy calling back at decob interlocking.
36 Nancy decob interlocking, that is a copy. Please hold. There's a Delta in front of you heading to Atlantic.
10-4.
1926 Nancy 59th Street 4th Avenue, that is a copy. Push for CBH local line. If your next callback is New Utrecht Avenue.
Service to Coney Island, you may get off at the next stop. Wait across the platform for the next arriving Q train.
Bravo Grant.
Cheer for the 20 Bravo, that is a copy. Push for the Bravo line. If your next callback will be decob interlocking.
Copy.
Delta at Atlantic Avenue, Pacific Street.
16 Delta Atlantic Pacific, that is a copy. Your next callback will be your next stop, 36th Street.
Copy.
36 Nancy holding the decal and interlock. You may proceed to next callback to Atlantic Pacific.
10-4.
George Avenue 4035.
1926 Nancy, that is correct. I said New Utrecht Avenue is your next callback. 1935 Quincy at Church Avenue, your next callback will be Newkirk Plaza.
62nd Street.
Second 906 Delta, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Bay Parkway.
Copy for back.
Prospect Park. Prospect Park.
1910 Bravo, Prospect Park, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Newkirk Plaza for Brighton.
Copy that.
This is Sheepshead Bay. You may transfer for the Q train bound for Coney Island directly across the platform. This is a Brighton Beach bound B train. The next and last stop is Brighton Beach. Stand clear of the closing doors. Ladies and gentlemen, we are now arriving at our final stop. This is Brighton Beach. You may prepare for the Q train, which will be making all stops to Coney Island. You may also transfer for the B1 bus bound for Kingsborough Community College downstairs. Once again, this is the last stop. This train will be returning back to Manhattan. Last stop.
$1936 Nancy calling back at Atlantic Avenue Pacific.
36 Nancy, Atlantic Pacific, that is a copy. Your next callback will be 36th Street.
10-4.
26 Nancy, New Utrecht Avenue, that is a copy. Your next callback will be Kings Highway.
Only Bravo decal.
Decal interlocking for the 1920 Bravo, that is a copy. You may proceed. Your next callback will be Decalb Avenue.
L.B.
Newkirk Plaza for 35.
35 Quincy at Newkirk Plaza, that is a copy. You're going to hold for connection with the 10 Bravo.
R68, this is the 1900 Bravo from left Fort Worth to right, which terminating our last stop.
1900 Bravo, Brighton Beach, that is a copy. You may discharge your passengers. Another crew will take a train to the layup. Thank you for your service. Have a good night.
You too.